Welcome to another deep dive into leadership. Today, we're joined by Paul Grenci, president of Red Key Solutions, which is an MSP or managed service provider for IT systems. Paul, in a few sentences, tell us what you do. What's an MSP?
Absolutely. Good morning, Mike. So just to demystify, an MSP, we basically do managed IT for businesses. That basically means we handle your infrastructure so you can focus on whatever it is that you do for your business. Everything from help, I lost an email, to oh my God, we've been hacked, to we're merging companies, or I need to migrate my email up into the cloud, and everything in between.
Wow, that's a mouthful in terms of getting all that done.
New York speeds, Mike. I talk at New York speeds. That's good for my clients.
That's kind of what you do. Tell us a little bit about why do you do it?
That's a good question. So I grew up doing IT in the 90s. And for anyone that was in IT or even in business at that time, it was a pretty dicey time for technology and IT in general. If you ever saw the movie Office Space or the cartoon Dilbert, that was my world. And I wasn't very happy with it. I thought I could do a better job. So my why nowadays is to basically redefine work. And I do that by focusing on the people behind the technology and making them forefront. And that's what we do.
Wow, thank you for sharing that, Paul. For the companies that work with you, what are the top benefits they receive for working with an MSP?
Two come to mind: control of your IT spend and a competitive advantage. But let me expand on that for a second. So if you're being reactive and you're not being strategic about how you spend your money in IT, it's going to cost you a lot more in very unexpected ways. And anyone that's been in business for a long time knows that the price of something is not necessarily the only cost. Meaning, you might buy a low-end computer thinking you're not spending a lot of money, but then you're wasting your team's productivity, right? So a lot of experience has taught us to avoid those kinds of traps.
Yep, I've been there before, so thank you for
Sure.
reminding us of that.
And on the competitive advantage side, it's not that Red Key is the competitive advantage. It's that you, the company owner and the entrepreneur, are the competitive advantage if you let a company like Red Key handle all these infrastructure issues so that you can shine at what you do.
Very good, very good. It's kind of like focus on what you're good at and delegate the rest.
Yep.
That's interesting. That brings to mind, as much as you're obviously involved in helping educate your customers a great deal, what have you learned? What lessons have you learned from your customers?
Oh, that one's easy. Trust, trust, trust. It takes years and thousands of interactions to build trust, and you can burn it in one. So I talk to my team every day about how their interactions are either building trust or hurting trust. And communication is a really big part of that. So we communicate well, transparently, timely, and efficiently with our clients to make sure they know what we're doing and they know where they are. And that maintains that trust so that we can move forward together.
Okay. Thanks again. For the business owners out there, what do you see as the characteristics of their companies that would mean they would benefit from a conversation with you? How do I know that my company would benefit and I should be reaching out to you?
A couple of points on that one. So the simplest is you've gotten to the point where you no longer want to rely on your nephew or your cousin or even a one-person shop when something goes wrong, right? What happens when that person's on vacation or otherwise busy, right? So a certain amount of business experience is going to be required for someone to want to work with a company like us. Outside of that, though, you've got the operational maturity of the firm itself, right? If they're a fly-by-night organization that doesn't plan or organize or budget, it's a lot harder to work with a company like ours that focuses on that, right? So if you are a mature company and you've been doing business for a while, it's usually a good time to talk to an MSP like Red Key Solutions for sure. The last piece I would say, and this is actually kind of a cultural component, I did mention that we put people first, but beyond that, if you use your technology to drive your company's business strategy, you're ready. You're ready for a company like us.
Okay, wow. I know we've talked time and again about the quality of people you're able to hire versus a smaller company that just doesn't have the budget to get that type of talent in perspective. And we've had a lot of those conversations because we've known each other for the past few years in our Vistage group. So let me ask, why did you join Vistage, and what have you found as the key benefits for you?
Well, for the first one, it's pretty easy. I wanted to work with and challenged by the best. Everybody at Vistage is out there to learn and grow from people that have done it better and taken it further than they have. So, if you want to improve where you are, the best thing you can do is put yourself in the room with people that are better at it than you are. So from a business perspective, that's why I chose to be with Vistage. Now, what do I get out of it? I get personal and professional growth that I've never gotten anywhere else. And I've done other peer groups. I've done half a dozen over the course of my career. And I never got a formal MBA. So these peers have always been an important part of the recipe. And at this point in my career, Vistage is just the best place to be.
Wow, Paul, thank you for sharing that. And certainly for the folks that don't know, Vistage peer advisory groups are made up of non-competing companies. And to your point, that's what allows for the very open conversations by all the members and the sharing that really creates the value in that group. From another perspective, let's talk a little bit longer term. How do you want to be remembered? What do you want your legacy to be?
I'd like to think of myself as a catalyst and a catalyst for both personal and business growth and evolution. So, I challenge myself in the ways that we've described with Vistage, and I do the same thing for my team. I do the same thing for my clients, right? I want them to become whatever it is they need or want to be, and I like to help facilitate that growth and evolution. That's my legacy, hopefully.
All right. Paul, thank you. For anyone who wanted to follow up with you, what's the best way to contact you?
Well, email is always going to be best, and that's pgrenci@redkeysolutions.com. You can also just go to the website and contact us right there.
Oh, great. Paul, thank you for joining us today.
You're very welcome, Mike. This was a great time.
And to our viewers, thank you for joining us on another deep dive. If you'd like to learn more about Red Key Solutions or Vistage and the benefits of a peer advisory group, please reach out. In the meantime, this is Mike Tetro. I'm an executive coach, and I lead a Vistage peer advisory group, and I look forward to seeing you on our next deep dive into leadership. Bye for now.